The Clipper race crews, featuring people from mixed ages, professions and backgrounds, have chalked off the Atlantic Ocean phase of their mammoth 40,000-mile circumnavigation. Now everyone's in South Africa, lapping up all Cape Town has to offer. But the prospect of what's next is never far from minds. It's the treacherous Southern Ocean. And new for the 11-12 edition of the Clipper Yacht Race, this involves a double header. First, the fleet will brave this notorious region en route to Western Australia, before dipping back down again for a radical crossing to New Zealand. Finally, a short hop across the Tasman Sea completes leg 4.
There is no protection from land, so the weather systems have miles and miles and miles to pick up speed, pick up energy, and for the waves to get bigger and bigger.
The waves in the Southern Ocean can exceed 100 feet. It is quite awesome.
With that in mind, it's hardly surprising the Northern Irish team DERRY-LONDONDERRY is getting decidedly twitchy.
I really haven't got a clue what I'm letting myself in for. I've had enough warnings from people who I respect their opinions to know that I'm messing with something big.
It's taking you out of that comfort zone and pushing you harder than you would in your normal daily life.
3, 2, 1.
Let's make this a good tuck, guys, okay? Quick as we can.
Once the race gets underway, there are immediately winners and losers. The leading yachts managed to use the last gasps of the afternoon breeze to escape Table Bay, while the others, including DERRY-LONDONDERRY, remain resolutely stuck.
Grim, truly grim.
Eventually, the wind fills in, and after a few days, the Northern Irish boat has worked its way down to the Southern Ocean Gateway at 40 degrees south. Also known as the Roaring Forties for its constant strong winds, the crews are met by the greatest of ironies.
The 40s are meowing.
I'm not going to say that the Roaring Forties are just mewing, because I think Neptune's just below, and he's stirring it all up.
And Lizzie Haig's right to be sceptical. Belatedly, the Roaring Forties find their voice, and the crew are caught with too much sail up.
Welcome to Big School, that one. The power of the sea is pretty formidable. Huge, huge power in there. It was only when you feel the waves let up, you just haul in 6 inches at a time.
That's why we're here. We're going to get kicked about a bit. 2 hours we've lost on that, you know, and it's disheartening, but that's the way it is. That's the game. We've just got to get on with it.
While the crew on DERRY-LONDONDERRY are just about keeping it all together, the same can't be said of QINGDAO. One of Mark Burkes' supporting lines snapped during a routine mast climb, plunging him into a life-threatening situation. 3 hours later, his teammates managed to maneuver him to just above deck level, but as he swings dangerously out of control, he poleaxes skipper Ian Conchi.
I'm shaken, very glad to be down. Did think for about 10 minutes I was going to meet my maker. All in all, that's a Southern Ocean story, which I will be boring every friend of mine with for a very long time to come.
Thankfully, the only repercussions are a bloody nose. Meanwhile, DERRY-LONDONDERRY haven't escaped the carnage. The pole that supports their spinnaker sail broke free and pierced a gaping hole in their mainsail, while also crippling their race prospects.
Lady Luck really hasn't shone on this boat, and now this. Kick it in the backside.
When you're going along all right, and you're making good headway towards the finish, being tired, being cold, being wet doesn't really matter because you know you're doing really well. You know, it just seems like it's more of a survival thing of getting across this ocean now.
Unfortunately, though, over the next fortnight, sail problems become annoyingly commonplace.
Everybody, pull, little pull, okay?
Time and again, the crew failed to execute their manoeuvres correctly until skipper Mark Light's patience snaps.
This is the way I see it, okay? Personally, from my point of view, what we're not good at is racing a boat. We need to work hard. We need to do things fast, because race boats, things happen fast. It's not a time to go, hang on a minute, let's just debate this for 5 minutes. Get it done.
On deck, it's the whole attitude of everyone needs to be a bit more keen and competitive about absolutely everything we do. Yeah, I think we just need to get a bit sharp about everything, really.
But despite this clear-the-air meeting, some remain unconvinced things will change for the better.
It was just hot air. Some points were made and there's been an immediate response, but from the moment of getting on board, I've never felt I've been involved in a race. It's just that edge isn't around. It's not around.
Jim needn't fret about his precious edge, though, as this proves a watershed moment in their development as a team.
Squeeze a little bit.
Everyone rallies together, and soon there's tangible reward as they gain a place in the rankings.
There's far more edge to what's going on. We want to be up there with the leaders. I don't want to be last in anything. In anything.
However, it's the team with a habit of coming first in everything that wins again. Gold Coast Australia maintaining their 100% record.
Good, how are you?
Eventually, DERRY-LONDONDERRY trail in a rather lowly 8th place, but that's immaterial to passing the considerable test of the Southern Ocean.
The interesting thing is how your focus sort of shifts. When you leave on your first leg, you're like, yeah, we've got to win it, and it's all about that. But as you go through it, it's more about dealing with everything that gets thrown at you and coming through the back end of that.
You can't go through something like that, you know, such a long, cold, wet, hard ocean crossing and not feel proud of yourself coming through.
But the crews aren't able to relax yet. Coming up is Southern Ocean Part 2, and this turns into a far more terrifying affair.
Come on! He's the guy!